Hello, Stacy here with incomeify.com, and I am, I guess, periodically going to do some book reviews, kind of still filling out the format that I want to use for the blog. And one of the books that I have been reading is Zen Wise Selling. And as you may or may not know, I work in sales. Let me keep getting the pop up here. I work in sales in technically it's a call center, and many times being zen in my selling is not something that comes easy to me. This book is about using mindful methods to improve your sales and yourself. And sometimes, you know, when I'm at work, I can be pretty zen and pretty able to center myself. But, you know, my boss, and let me back this up and say, about a week or so ago, my boss really, you know, maybe not intentionally, but really upset me. I allowed him to upset me because he was questioning my productivity. And the day that he was questioning was a day that I had 112 dials. We're measured on metrics, dials, you know, talk time, how many quotes we give out, how many sales, etc. And so most people on my team don't get barely 60, which is, you know, the minimum. And I'm, you know, have record dials often, but it seems that when I do a lot is when he wants to, you know, question what I'm doing. And I just was so upset that I was actually physically getting hot. And then a couple days after that, I found myself at my cubicle, and I was actually having an anxiety attack. My chest hurt, my back. When I would reach to, you know, dial the phone, it was just, I was in pain and I could hardly breathe. I was, you know, like having shortness of breath. I'm like, I can't believe this person made me so upset. But, you know, it goes back to allowing or not allowing things get to you. When you're in the moment, though, you can have anger, and then that has residual effects if you know, act impulsively, etc., which I have done before, you know, walked off jobs, etc. But instead of reacting that way, I internalized it, and then 2 days later, that anger turned into anxiety. And I even find myself wanting to integrate things like Zen and different methods into improving my life while I'm on my job. One of the things that I've done and have kind of fallen off of is doing EFT, which is essentially tapping different points on your body to relieve stress and to realign and recalibrate your energy. And the beginning, when you're beginning to tap it, you use statements or mantras or affirmations that the beginning of your tapping, usually it centers around a statement that is true. A lot of times we want to repress, where if you're in the positive energy movement or personal development or law of attraction, we've been taught that, oh, you can't feel bad, you can't feel negative, that, you know, that those are bad feelings, but repressing that actually makes it worse. So for me, I've, you know, developed a few affirmations, statements, I should say, that I use when I tap, when I'm at work. I on break or when I'm just walking to my desk or in between calls, I acknowledge that I hate is a strong word, but I hate my job. I don't like it. It's not, I mean, I'm relatively good at it, etc. But it's draining. It's not really feeding my soul. It's, putting a roof over my head. Now I'm grateful for my income. It's putting food in my refrigerator. I have internet. I am grateful for it, but I know that I would like to do something that is more rewarding, more fulfilling, more financially lucrative. I'm over a certain age, so I'm kind of thinking about ramping up my earnings and my savings and things like that. So one of the things that I tap on is, even though I hate my job, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though I hate my job, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Another statement that I do is, and this is just me, I'm just keeping it real. Another statement I use is, even though I feel like a scumbag, low-life telemarketer, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though I feel like a low-life scumbag telemarketer, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though I feel like a low-life scumbag telemarketer, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. And I find myself doing this when people are hanging up on me or they're mean and nasty. I do that. I don't do the actual tapping, but I do the statements in my mind, or when I'm walking to work, walking to the building, each footstep, I use that as a tap, and I go in I use those statements. Even though I hate my job, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though I feel like a low-life scumbag telemarketer, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. So I use those. Another one that I integrate is, even though I hate my job, I am going to leave it. I hate my job and I'm going to leave it. I hate my job and I'm going to leave it. I hate my job and I'm going to leave it. Another statement is, I have the abilities, skills, and resources to prosper in my own business. I have all of the abilities, skills, and resources to prosper in my own business. So hopefully this video has helped you to realize that you don't have to allow being in a job that you hate or you don't like, that's not what you want to do. You don't have to allow it to affect your energy. Although viscerally you may have a response to sitting in that cubicle, dealing with people that you work with or whatever, you can find a way to shift that energy. You can do EFT. Some of the statements I use, modify them to fit your situation. And again, I hope this has helped, and wishing you much success. Again, Stacy here with incomeify.com, wishing you all the best.